The book Dune, 1965, by Frank Herbert and the movies, especially David Lynch's 1984 version, Denis Villeneuve's 2021 and 2024 films, and the 2000 miniseries, are often accused of borrowing heavily from Islamic and Arab culture. People point to words like jihad, Mahdi, Padishah, Shai Hulud, and the desert-dwelling Fremen who wear still suits and ride giant worms. Many assume the story is a direct allegory for the Middle East and oil. Here is a clear breakdown of what actually happens and how much or how little it truly lines up with real Islamic history, Arab culture, or the modern politics of Saudi Arabia and oil. Core story, book and films. Paul Atreides, a young noble from planet Caladan, moves with his family to the desert planet Arrakis, also called Dune, in the year 10,191 of the future. Arrakis is the only source of spice melange, a drug that extends life, gives limited prescience, and makes faster-than-light travel possible. The native Fremen, tough desert tribes, await a messiah, the Mahdi or Lisan al-Gaib, who will turn the desert green. Paul learns their ways, marries a Fremen woman, Chani, leads a jihad across the galaxy, and becomes emperor. In the later books, his son Leto That turns into a giant sandworm-human hybrid and rules for 3,500 years to prevent humanity's extinction. Words and concepts. Borrowed from Arabic Islamic sources, Frank Herbert openly took terminology from Arabic and Islamic history. Mahdi, the guided one in Islamic eschatology. Lisan al-Gaib, voice from the outer world, a term Herbert invented but built from real Arabic words. Jihad, holy war, used exactly that way in the book. Shai Hulud, old man of the desert, or eternity. Sandworms. Padishah emperor, Persian Turkish title for great king Fedaykin. Paul's elite warriors, from Arabic fidari, self-sacrificer, Sardaukar. Elite imperial troops, sounds like Sardar al-Askar. Siach, cry meaning throw your water to the dead. Close to real Bedouin mourning customs al-Lat, ancient Arabian goddess mentioned in the book's appendix. The Fremen religion is a far future mix of Zen Sunni, Zen plus Sunni Islam, and other beliefs, where it matches. Middle Eastern Islamic lore. A messianic outsider arrives among desert tribes and leads them to victory, similar to stories told about the Prophet Muhammad in early Islamic history, though Paul is not a prophet in the same way. Riding a giant worm as proof of messiahship resembles the Mahdi legends in some Shia traditions where he performs miracles. Water is sacred and blood revenge is central, real Bedouin values. Chris knife made from a worm tooth is vaguely like the curved Arab dagger, where it breaks away completely. The planet Arrakis has no oil at all. The spice is mined from sand by giant machines, not pumped from wells. It is a naturally occurring drug created by sandworm larvae, not a fossil fuel. Saudi Arabia and the modern Gulf states do not appear in any form. There is no OPEC analog, no sheikhs selling oil to foreigners, no Western troops do not occupy Arrakis. The great houses, Atreides, Harkonnen and Corrino, are European or Russian-sounding, not Arab. The Bene Gesserit sisterhood that breeds Paul is a female mystical order with voice control powers. Nothing like any real Islamic group. The jihad in the book kills 61 billion people across thousands of planets. Real Islamic history has no event even close to that scale. Paul's sister Aliyah is possessed by ancestral memories while still in the womb and becomes a 4-year-old killer saint, pure science fiction invention. The final ruler, Leto II, fuses with sandworm trout and lives 3,500 years with thousands of ancestors in his mind. That has zero connection to any Middle Eastern religion or politics. So does Dune rely on Islamic lore? Yes, for surface flavor and vocabulary. Herbert read extensively about the Bedouin, the Mahdism in Sudan, and Islamic history. He wanted an exotic desert culture. No for deep structure or allegory, the story is not about Western exploitation of Arab oil, the common claim. It is about ecology, messianic politics, and the dangers of following charismatic leaders. The spice is closer to a psychedelic drug or a rare mineral than to petroleum. The empire that wants the spice is feudal European in style, not American or British oil companies. Herbert himself said in interviews, "I was trying to create a desert culture that felt real, not a direct copy of the Arabs. The oil analogy is too simplistic. The spice is the whole economy of the empire depends on one planet the way our economy once depended on whales for oil, not on the Middle East. Bottom line, Dune wears Arabic and Islamic clothing, but the body underneath is pure 1960s American science fiction about ecology and hero worship. It is not a coded story about Saudi Arabia, OPEC, or Western colonialism in the Gulf. The spice is not oil. The Fremen are not Saudis or Palestinians. Paul is not Lawrence of Arabia or a stand-in for any real historical figure. It borrows heavily from the aesthetic, sometimes problematically, but the narrative and themes do not align with the modern politics of the Middle East or the oil industry.